people ask a lot about the safety here and neighborhoods and stuff, and this is actually something new that I just found out. One of my friends, Jake, told me. There's a neighborhood called, and it's the one that he's like, don't go there, Kajima. Okay, now racism. I get asked this question all the time. Are Koreans racist? How racist is Korea? And my answer to that is, what's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. So, because it is raining outside and I don't want to socialize today, I decided to do a video. So first of all, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you really should, because I respond to you guys' messages. I try to. It takes me a while. With more followers, it comes a more delayed reaction, but I do get there for the most part, eventually. So today was kind of that time. After like a 2-week hiatus and not really reading messages, I got back on it. I'm noticing I get a lot of the same questions, so I thought it might be helpful to do another FAQ style video, but this one's not so much about me, just like life in Korea. So this is going to be 25 most common questions that I get on Instagram. And if this is something that you guys like, let me know. Subscribe. In like about 2 weeks, it makes 3 years that I've been doing YouTube. It's just a button for you, but it means the world to me. It keeps me motivated. It lets me know this is the type of stuff that you guys want to see. Leave a like on the video if you want a part 2. Also leave comments, like questions that you might have that you want me to answer in a part 2, because this is just what I've noticed very frequently in my DMs on Instagram. So the video is going to cover everything from housing, visa requirements, seeing celebrities, teaching requirements, what else is on this list? The air quality, transportation, cost of living, Korean levels, like how much do you need to know Korean, racism, neighborhoods, safety, all that good stuff. So we're gonna get into that, and if that is something you're interested in, please keep watching. So let's go. Okay, number 25, can you bring your pet? Now for the most part, a lot of people ask this because they want to come here to teach English, and the answer to that is yes. But it is a bit more difficult because, for example, with the TAL program, no pets, EPIC program, very unlikely you'll be able to find a school that will give you pet-friendly housing. So my friend Bria, for example, she went another route with a recruiter, and my friend Erin did the same thing. So Bria has her cat over here from the States. Erin had her dog with her from the States. And even this apartment is not covered by the school. And I'm gonna talk more about like housing and apartments and stuff a little bit later, but she pays out of pocket, and yeah. So you can bring your pet, it's just a bit more difficult and more expensive. Okay, number 24, people ask a lot about jobs here as a foreigner. For the most part, it's a foreign language teacher, in the military, entertainment, like if you're like a celebrity or a dancer or an actor or something, student. Those are like aside from visiting, those are the most common ways people live here as a foreigner. But then people ask me, oh, I want to be a doctor. Can I be a doctor in Korea as a foreigner? It's like, yeah, I'm sure, absolutely. But then they're surprised when I tell them you gotta know in Korean though, like you need to speak Korean. Like these 4 jobs are pretty common because, you know, when you're teaching a foreign language, you don't really need to know Korean. It makes your life hella easy. It makes your life a lot more easy, but you don't have to know English.
That is not correct.
But you don't have to know Korean to teach English here. Same with the military, same with being a student, unless you're taking classes like that, because there are people here who are like Korean language majors, so things like that. But there's some foreigners who own businesses here, and I'm not sure about their Korean ability, but it's possible. It's just you're more than likely gonna have to know some Korean and be pretty darn fluent if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, massage therapist. I've gotten all these types of questions, and I don't know why people are surprised that, yeah, you gotta know Korean if you want to work in a country filled with Koreans, you know? Okay, 23, people ask a lot about transportation. Transportation here is very easy. It is very easy to get around. It's very affordable to get around. The 2 main apps, well, Naver Maps is the main one people use. I prefer Kakao Maps because I'm weird and old school. I like the colors. But yeah, these apps are now in English too, so that is very helpful. You use a T-Money card usually for like everywhere. There's also like B-Line or B something, but I haven't seen that as often. T-Money you can use in the taxi, on the train, on the bus. You can refill it in the subway station at most convenience stores. People have it on their like credit card or their bank cards, and you can just swipe your card. It's very convenient. It's very cheap. It's very easy. Even in like most major cities in Korea, like the stops on the train and on the bus will be announced in English and Korean, sometimes Japanese and Chinese as well. Getting around is pretty easy. I have no sense of direction, and I don't get lost that often here. 22, how are we treated here? So as a foreigner, 1,000,000,000% you're going to be stared at. It's annoying, I don't get it, but it happens. You're not so likely to be just ostracized and straight up called out because you're a foreigner. Like, nothing like that really happens. But people will look at you, they might whisper and say things and take note. It's annoying. But aside from that, I don't really feel all that different being a foreigner here. It's just the staring. It kind of makes you like something in my hair, things like that. Yeah, like even yesterday, I'm gonna put this in a vlog. We went to try on like school uniforms and like walk around, and people were like staring extra hard. But this time we were giving them something to actually look at, so I didn't mind so much. For the most part, I'm pretty comfortable here. This staring does get really annoying. But they are, for the most part, like really helpful. They're very timid. Like if you come to them speaking English, they'll be like, oh God, yeah? Like they'll help you reluctantly. But one time it did happen to me where I was about to ask someone for help and they just bowed, said sorry, and walked away. And I was like, got it. And I never asked a Korean for help again. Rejection is no joke. Okay, 21. People ask about coming to Korea right now, like during the situation. So as of now, as of this video, you are required to quarantine for 14 days no matter what. But they have been talking about allowing vaccinated people to come, like people who are fully vaccinated, depending on where you're from too, because places where there's strong strains and massive outbreaks, like India and South Africa right now, pretty much like those 7 countries that you can teach, and I'm gonna get into that later in the video as well. But yeah, they've been talking about easing the requirements, and as long as you can prove you're fully vaccinated, you may be able to bypass the 14-day quarantine. That's as of this video. It is an ever-changing situation, so take that with a grain of salt. 20. What is the air quality like here and the air pollution? It is the absolute worst in the spring. I can say that unequivocally. That's something I have to get used to. Now, a lot of people blame it strictly on China. Like, a lot of it does blow over from China. But Korea is also a very diesel-friendly country, and they generate a lot of their own pollution here as well. So it's not the best. It's very hazy usually. I think winter is usually when the air is the clearest. When it's warm out, it's usually pretty like muggy and just hazy, thick smells and thick, yeah. So yeah, there are apps for checking the air quality. You can look at Namsan Tower and see the color of the air quality based on the color of the tip of the tower. If it's green, you're good. If it's purple, beware, stay home, do not go outside, things like that. Number 19, people ask about just casually walking around and seeing celebrities and idols. It's not very likely. Like, it does happen just like any other place. You know, you could be in LA and be like, oh my God, Johnny Depp. But don't expect to see idols just chilling in a cafe, kicking it, sipping some nukcha, just like, what's good? My fans. Like, that's not very likely to happen. Sorry. Like, people ask, oh, can you just see them just walking around? I'm sure it happens sometimes, but it's not very likely. Like, they have to be low-key and protect their peace because fans are crazy. Speaking of idols, number 18. People ask if Koreans look like idols, and no, they don't. Like, some do. Most don't. Like, it's like expecting everyone in the States to look like Rihanna or Beyonce or Brad Pitt or Leonardo. Like, we don't look like that in real life. Like, there's glam squads, there's surgery, there's ways to enhance all that. People expect the average Korean to be a great dancer and to have popping skin and to be really pretty. And, you know, there's some are, but don't have that expectation of everybody, because that's you're gonna get your feelings hurt. You're gonna set the bar real high. Places I recommend visiting in Seoul. Actually, JK, that'll be another video. I think I'm gonna save that for another video because that might be kind of long. So let me know if that's something y'all want to see, like places that I recommend visiting in Seoul. Let me know in the comments, leave a like, and that is one thing that I will get back to you on, because that actually might be a full video in itself. Never mind. Number 16, medical stuff. Everybody asks about like healthcare. Healthcare in Korea is hella affordable. Things like seeing the dentist, seeing a doctor, the optometrist, usually cost you way less here. Even when I was here as a teacher, I had tonsillitis, and then I had pink eye. I blame it on this guest house we were at, because it wasn't just me. 2 other friends got it too, and I was like, what the fuck were those pillows? Anyway, last minute like meetings and appointments, it didn't cost me a ton of money. I think out of pocket for my tonsillitis and my 7 days of antibiotics that I had to take cost me out of pocket like $17, and that's everything included with the visit. So usually if you come here as a teacher, you're gonna have some sort of insurance thing set up, probably as a student as well, and it's affordable. Like, my friend, she got like most of her wisdom teeth taken out here. I think she said she paid like $17 with insurance, and without insurance it was only gonna be like $26 or $32 or something like that. So dental care is very affordable. Healthcare, eye stuff, it's hella cheap here. And usually whatever your situation is here as a student or as a worker, they're gonna set that up for you anyway, so yeah. Okay, 15, hair. Now admittedly so, I'm probably not the best person to talk about this because I do my own hair. Every now, like I did get a magistrate perm twice from the same guy in Jeju. It was a Korean hair salon. They did pretty good. My friend Bria just highlighted my hair for me. Other than that, I do my own hair. I would recommend you to order your own stuff online or bring it with you when you come because it's gonna be way cheaper. There are stores in like Pyeongtaek and Itaewon, but the ones in Itaewon I think are actually closed because of the current crisis we're in. Actually, I'm gonna leave a link to this Facebook group. It's all about natural hair care and stuff. And they probably have a lot of resources there that are better for you than I can explain. Cause like I said, I do my own, so I can't really speak too much on that. So yeah, but that's a very common question I get. Okay, shopping in Korea. Oh boy. This one's annoying because Korea is notorious for their free size and for their one size. Like everything is one size. This top that I'm wearing is a one size. It's not that big. Now there are a few like international stores that are here, like H&M, Forever 21 used to be here, and I usually shop at those places more, but I also like Spao. They have sizes. If you go to Itaewon, they have more sizes. Usually they have like shops that are catered to bigger sizes. But if you go to like the little stalls on the street, the little tiny little stores, the one size you see is probably the one size that they have, and it's really annoying. Shopping here, everything is pretty cheap. Well, there do be some things where a blouse will randomly be like $60. I'm like, for what? For what? But in general, their stuff here is definitely cut small. I am a size 4 and the stuff fits me pretty comfortably. Okay, now racism. I get asked this question all the time. Are Koreans racist? How racist is Korea? Is Korean racist against black people? I get that all the time. And my answer to that is, bruh, every country's racist. It's very unfortunate and it's very annoying, but Korea is not any more racist than America, for example. Difference is, you're not likely to get shot, murdered, attacked, or targeted because you're black in Korea. In America, we've seen it happen. You know, you get the stares, people ask questions about your skin, the stereotypes where they assume like you're a really good dancer, you're a really good singer, you're an athlete, maybe your parents were a single parent. Things like the negative stereotypes, they kind of hold true here, like this is what they believe. Korea is not any more racist than America. And I keep saying America because I'm American is what I know. You're not gonna turn on the TV and see a black man in Itaewon was targeted by, you're not gonna see that in Korea. You know, I wouldn't want people to not come to Korea because they think it's racist. Like, bro, the world is racist. It's annoying and it sucks, but it's true. There's no country you can go to unless it's like a predominantly black country where they don't look at us weird or have their prejudices and stereotypes about us. It's annoying, but it's true. Korea, unfortunately, is no exception to this rule. You get the stares, they ask about your hair, they ask about your skin, they ask about your butt. There's a lot of ignorance and weirdness that go. It's cringy and it's uncomfortable, but there's a lot of places that will say no foreigners. They don't specifically target like black foreigners. I'm sure it happens and maybe they're subtle and low-key about it, but like you'll see no foreigners, not no blacks. You don't really see anything like that, or at least I haven't, and I haven't heard about it. Okay, 12. People ask a lot about the safety here in neighborhoods and stuff, and this is actually something new that I just found out. One of my friends, Jake, told me. There's a neighborhood called Daerimdong, and it's the one that he's like, don't go there, don't go, Kajima. I was like, really? Because I was like, so a lot of people ask about like safety in Korea, because I've never, and I'm not trying to be dramatic. I've never not felt safe. Like I've never been like, oh my God, what is this dude doing? What is that? No, I've never felt not safe here. Like I always feel really safe in Korea. And it sucks when I leave. That's like the thing I miss the most, the safety. Like I don't have to worry about being stabbed or shot or stalked or assault. Not saying that it doesn't happen, because crime happens everywhere, but it's not very common here at all. So yeah, he told me that Daerimdong is a dangerous neighborhood in Seoul because, his words, there's a lot of ethnically Chinese gangsters there. He said like if you're not about that life, you should be good, but it's a very sketchy and weird situation and that you shouldn't go. Since the weather's been so nice lately and cool at night, I've been going on hella night walks and I just feel safe here. I'm not trying to oversell this to you, but every foreigner that I've met talks about, oh my God, it's so safe here, it's so chill. Like you can walk around alone and not be overly worried or concerned. Not saying you shouldn't be vigilant, but you don't gotta be like, the fuck is that? You just don't have those same worries here. But avoid Daerimdong, apparently. Okay, 11. A lot of people ask about housing when they come as a teacher. Like I mentioned before, like the 25th spot. Your school, like if you come here as a teacher, your school will pay for your rent. They do like They sometimes do like a monthly stipend, like a monthly allowance for your rent type of thing, or they just have a straight up contract with the landlord that when you move out, another teacher moves in, when you move out, another teacher moves in, and that like that's just a teacher's apartment. That some places are like that. Like my place in Taeyon, that's how it was. And the benefit of that is you don't have to worry about the key money because that is expensive. And a lot of people are flocking to Seoul, so rent is getting expensive. If you want to save some coins, come as a teacher because it's expensive. Now, you know, when you're a student, I'm pretty sure there's like dorming and stuff. Yeah, and when you come as a tourist, people ask about what neighborhood should I stay in. That's kind of hard for me to answer because I never really lived in Seoul. Like I lived in Jeju, I lived in Taeyon, and I've been staying at my friend's place, and we're in, I won't say where, we're near Seoul University. And it's fine here. Like I said, most neighborhoods are safe, but apparently Daeramdong is the one you should avoid. If you want to be near everything, I would try to be in the middle, like near Yongsan, either on the Yongsan side or like south of the road. Gangnam is expensive and it's like a little bit out of the way. Like it's far from Itaewon and Hongdae and Myeongdong. Mapogu is like where the trendy younger people go, all the young college kids and stuff. Itaewon is more like foreigners, army stuff, even though that's all moving like closer to the border. So I really do wonder what's gonna happen to Itaewon once they close the base. So yeah, people ask all the time about that. Like I said, you can choose to pay more for another place, and like your school may be able to set up a situation where your stipend goes towards your rent and then you have to pay the difference. That's what Bria's doing here. Plus what I'm giving her for this room, she making bank. Okay, now we are in the top 10s. All right, these are the ones that came to mind the fastest. Like when I was like, what are the frequently asked questions? I was like, do, and then as it kind of went down, I was just like 24, 17, I don't know. These are the top ones I get asked all the freaking time. Okay, so 10, people ask when is the best time to visit in Korea. Personally, I don't like hot weather. I know I'm weird, I don't like summer, I like fall. I would recommend April or May. The weather is really nice. I'm just miserable because I have really bad allergies. Summer is really hot, and then you don't want to come during like July because it's Jangma. Jangma is the rainy season. It is rainy, hot, humid, and muggy all the time for no reason, and I absolutely can't stand it, and you might not either. And the thing is, I would also really recommend like October. I mean, October is just my favorite month in general, so I'm biased. I love October. But like, you can see the leaves changing. The air is clearer, it's like crisp weather, but it's not cold, it's beautiful. Fall here is amazing. If you bout that life and you love summer, pop over in June and July and August. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, number 9, people ask about what they should pack. Why did I make those separate? People ask about what they should pack in the winter. I made these separate, I'm sorry. So in the winter, you're gonna want like a long padding coat like I have hanging up back here. Yeah, you're gonna want that. Winters are like bitter cold here. Like they're bitterly cold. It snows a good amount. It's very mountainous and they don't really salt the roads that much, so you might go on a slip and slide type of situation. I'm swag, I'm surf, I'm swag. So boots are necessary. A good coat, long coat. I recommend long padding. I got mine from Spal. It was like $100. Worth it. Bring some beanies and some gloves, sweaters. Yeah, because you know, some people might not know if winters here are like winter. It's winter here. When they say winter, they mean winter. It's winter. It gets cold. And I'm sorry, for some reason I put it separately. For the summer, you want to pack very light because you're going to want to shop anyway. A lot of these shops are cheap. They have cute little skirts and sweaters and blouses, and the skirt game in Korea is on point. They make them a little too short, but I love Korean skirts. They're so cute. You're gonna want to pack light because you're probably gonna shop a lot. So yeah, I pack. Okay, I'm weird because I don't like to show that much of my skin in the summer because that opens me to mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes. They're drawn to me and it's annoying. So I usually wear like long linen pants, like nice, breezy, and breathable. I never wear shorts because I don't like feeling my legs rub together. I do like skirts because I can fan them out a little bit. I like blouses that are like breezy and breathable. I love crop tops. Yeah, I also want to recommend a personal fan, the little, yeah, you're gonna want that. And also they have a really cool neck one that it's gonna be probably in a future video soon because it's on its way. But yeah, you're gonna want that to help keep you cool because it is so humid and muggy in the summer. Luckily, those places are mostly air conditioned. Like the buses are air conditioned, the train's very air conditioned, every department store, every shop has air conditioning. But when you go outside, you're like, oh fuck. And mosquitoes are massive and they're everywhere. I hate summer. Can you tell? Can you tell that I hate summer? Okay, number 7. I don't know shit about idol life. Like, people keep asking me, hi, I'm 15 or I'm 19 and I want to go to Korea to be an idol. I want to be an actor. I want to be a trainee. I say, do you, boo? Reach for the stars. but I don't know anything about that. I came here to teach English. I met some college students along the way. I met other English teachers. I've never met someone who was an idol or a trainee. I literally know nothing about that, and I'm so sorry. I'm hoping that you'll see this video and be like, okay, don't ask, because I don't know. I really don't know. Like, people ask if it's possible to be an idol as a foreigner. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, but I don't know how to do it. I've never said I want to be an idol in Korea. I don't know. I never pursued that. I'm sorry. Okay, number 6. This is about Korean men. Bruh, no matter how many disclaimers I offer, people ignore it. So I'm just gonna say it one more time, and I'm sure I'm gonna say this in every other video from now on, but let me get both my hands free. Korean men are no better and no worse than any other man in any other country on this home we call Earth. Bars. I did not intend for that to rhyme. But yeah, like, don't idolize them and don't praise them. Like, Korean dudes are just dudes at the end of the day. I get, you know, when you come here, you want to try something new, you want to see something a little different. I totally get that. As everyone's right. Like I said, variety is the spice of life. Do you, boo. But do not come here like, oh, oppa 자꾸 했어요. Like, oh God, that's weird. Don't do that. Like, if you happen to find someone, that's great, but don't expect so much from them. They're just men at the end of the day. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people ask me about how likely it is to marry a Korean guy, and I'm like, I don't know. They're like, oh, I love Korean men. It's my dream to move to Korea and marry a Korean man, have a Korean family. Okay, number 5, this is about me personally. A lot of people ask if I live here. I don't. I lived here from 2017 to 2019. I came back to visit in February. It is May, and I'm just here visiting. I do not live here. Right now, I don't really have any sort of reason or desire to live here, but I do plan to visit Korea frequently throughout my life. But I want to see other places. I need to see newness. I need to experience something foreign, because now Korea feels a lot like home. It feels familiar. So that's when I know I need to leave. So yeah, I'm just here visiting. I don't live here anymore. I don't have any plans to either, so. Okay, number 4, a lot of people ask how necessary it is to know Korean when they get here. Here's the thing, if you come here as a student or a teacher or in the military, Korean isn't really necessary. It just makes your life a lot more easy. It shows Korean people you're making an effort. It makes things just more natural, but you don't really have to learn Korean. There's a lot of stuff, there's translator apps. Everything's, for the most part, is in Korean and English. I would absolutely recommend at least learning how to read Hangul, because even, for example, let me see if I can show you. There's a lot of things that are like Koreanized, even though it's an English word. Okay, see, look, my vitamins. Okay, this is a live once daily. It says it in English here, but then in Korean, it says once daily. So it's the same, but it's just Koreanized. So I would absolutely recommend at least learning how to read Hangul. It's very easy. So at least start there. People also ask, like, do Koreans know English? And for the most part, the average Korean knows some English, but it's like when you learn it in school, do you really retain it? Unless you actively want to practice it and use it, you're gonna forget. So the average Korean can probably say, hi, my name is da-da-da, nice to meet you. I'm fine, thank you, and you? Like, they'll remember some of those, but like, do you remember the German you learned in high school? An wie willst du dich? That was horrible. I took it for 1 year, don't judge me. And then for French, je suis américaine. That's all I remember. Like, do you remember what you learned? So don't like go up to Korean people and expect them to know English. And if you do have to speak in English, at least speak simple English. Like, I try to simplify my words. I speak a little slower. I take breaks in between my words. Like, I don't want them, you know, to think I'm trying to dumb it down for them, but you don't want to speak too fast because they're gonna be like, oh, 갑자기, oh, 어떡해. Knowing Korean is very helpful, but it's not absolutely mandatory. And a lot of people ask how I learned it. I'm not fluent by any means, but there's a lot you can do in self-study, and that's all I did. I never formally took any Korean class, so I'm the wrong person to ask about how to learn it, because I kind of just studied in my own time. Like, I use stuff like howtostudykorean.com, Memrise, Skillshare, HelloTalk, LingoDeer. Number 3, universities. Like I said, I met a few like university students along the way, especially when I was clubbing. There's a lot of university students in the club. I'm gonna sneeze. Thank you. All right, I don't know much about university life here, but I do know that it's a good alternative for the people who don't meet the requirements to teach English here. It's a good alternative to study here, because they definitely encourage and welcome foreign students to these schools. For one, it's more money for them, and two, it's also part of Korea trying to expand their sphere of influence, like trying to put more of their culture out there. So I think though Korea is pretty close-minded in general, the broader picture, they do want to expand their borders and expand to other people and expand globally, because K-pop, skincare, all that good stuff is very popular abroad, so they want to keep building up on that. Number two, this is the most, okay, do you need a degree to teach English? Yes, the fuck you do. Like I said, the TAL program is the only exception, and the only thing is you have to be at least like 2 years into your bachelor's degree. But you do need a degree. You need a 4-year accredited bachelor's degree, unless it's like 3 years in your country, because I think in the UK and like South Africa it's 3 years for a bachelor's, I don't know. But you need that as a part of the visa requirement. And number one, I've gone over this so many times, but it's still a question I get asked all the time when people ask me, do they meet the requirements to teach English? And that is being from these 7 countries. This is the number one requirement to teach English. You have to be from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, the US, the UK, or Ireland. If you're not from these 7 countries, it's stupid, I know, but you cannot teach English here. It's dumb. If you can get citizenship in those countries, you got a shot, because like I said, I met a friend. She is from Honduras. She became a US citizen and she taught in English in Korea. So it's possible, but you need to be from one of those 7 countries. It's dumb because I know there's like a lot of native English speakers in India and Nigeria and Poland, Germany. Like, it's weird, I don't get it, but that's just the rules. So yeah, that is the 25 most frequently asked questions on my Instagram and my DMs, and I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching if you did. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.